The Russian invasion in Ukraine is amplifying and accelerating all these factors: climate change, COVID-19, and inequality. It threatens to tip tens of millions of people over the edge into food insecurity, followed by malnutrition, mass hunger, and famine in a crisis that could last for years.
Let's have a look at how the conflict is increasing food insecurity. Russia and Ukraine together account for nearly 1/3 of global wheat supplies. Ukraine is also a major exporter of corn, barley, sunflower oil and rapeseed oil. Ukraine exports most of its goods through seaports, but since the war began, supplies from its ports have been cut off. It's been forced to export by train or via its small Danube River ports. That's led to a reduced global supply. Also, prices of grains, cooking oils, fuel and fertilizer have been soaring. Russia's blockade of Ukraine's Black Sea ports has neighbouring countries working to boost road and rail transport as alternatives. Abdulvehab Ejupi explains.
Poland, Slovakia and Romania are in race against time to get Ukraine's grain to global markets. They are stepping up to unblock borders and boost capacity on road and rail routes to export vast amount of Ukrainian grain before the next harvest, which is just around the corner. Stefan, a Ukrainian truck driver at Isatseas port, says the Russian blockade have forced him and others to find new routes through Romania.
We now transport containers from the port of Odessa to the port of Constanța, and we export Ukrainian goods to the port because Ukrainian ports, everything is blocked. The sea is blocked, trade relations are closed, so we have to develop new territories through Romania.
Romania's flagship Black Sea port of Constanța is battling to handle the additional strain. Only about 1% of the EU target, or roughly 250,000 tons of Ukrainian grain, has so far passed through.
This is an act of solidarity, but it is also an opportunity to develop the infrastructure at the port of Constanța and also the solidarity with Ukrainian people because they have to export their grain as they are one of the biggest producers and exporters in the world. All of this has to do with connectivity and the food crisis.
Port operators are calling for government and EU support to upgrade their infrastructure.
With more managerial efforts, we can take our products from Ukraine. But we need a range of equipment. And supporting Ukraine means that we, as a country, together with the EU, need to figure out financial support for this equipment.
Ukraine is the world's fourth largest grain exporter. It sells around 3/4 of its yield abroad, and grain accounts for around 1/5 of the country's total export revenue. But now, with access to the main ports of Odessa and Mariupol closed, vast amount of the grain is stuck in silos, waiting for transport. Failure to get it to the international market risks a global food crisis, with the effects likely to be felt most keenly in Africa and Middle East. Abdulvehab Ejupi, TRT World.